couple of these games seem very similar in format. When you look at them, the scenario of third down and the impact of third downs on both sides of the ball continues to be a factor, and that's why they can hold the football and keep it away from us, and we can't keep our drives going. And so that's one simple way of looking at it. And then one explosive play, and it kind of knocks you out a little bit. So our guys are fighting. They're trying to keep this thing going, trying to get ourselves a chance to win a game. But there's just a couple aspects of it that we're not able to hold up. So we just got to keep working, and we know what we're playing for. We're playing for our pride to do something good and to play for the guys across from you, and just try to get some joy out of the game that we love. And right now it's a little bit hard to do that.
Pete, you're right here. So when Geno Smith first went out, it was a hand injury, and then later they said it was a shoulder. Did he suffer another injury, or was it just maybe misdiagnosed?
From what I understand, I didn't see the play happen, but he got banged on the shoulder, pretty obviously, and so that it's just kind of jammed up right now. The early indications that they were able to get, I didn't show any damage yet. His shoulder's really locked up, so we'll see what that means.
Pete, on there were a 14-play drive, 19-play drive, first, third, and fourth quarters. But even on those, there weren't a whole lot of third down opportunities for the Broncos. What's maybe going on first and second down?
Yeah, we got the ball running at us today, and that hasn't been happening like that. And there's some games when they run the ball in the fourth quarter and they get some extra carries and all that. But this game, we didn't control the running game like we normally do, and they averaged 5 yards a carry in the first half and the second half. So that's not good enough on our end, and that leads to the leaky, 2 and 3 yards on first down, 2-3 yards on second down, and they get easy third down opportunities where they're converting. So I'm surprised at that. We thought we would play that better, and we've been pretty consistent on it, but today we just didn't get it done.
Pete, do you know the specifics, like how you blew Kelly's knee injury?
Let me not say anything that I've already heard. Let's just wait till they really get the test done and all that. But it's a serious injury, and from what he was able to convey, that he did it when he was breaking. I don't know if you guys could see it. It wasn't like he got leg whipped or something like that. But it is a significant injury, and so he's been battling all year long. He's a guy that the guys are all rooting for, and kind of. He's had a big season of kind of re-emerging as a factor on our team and all that. And so guys really have their hearts open to him, and so we're all pulling for him and hoping that it isn't any worse than maybe it could be.
And just a follow-up question regarding Geno. Is there anything? I know you mentioned his shoulder locking up, but in regards to the hand, is there any concern? Is there still any concern?
I think that from what I heard, that he got his hand cut and it was bleeding, and so they just had to stop the bleeding. Like get kicked or scraped or something like that. That's what I heard. I didn't see that. But his shoulder he got hit pretty good. So I was with him, so I know that.
Pete, you're probably not used to opposing teams' fans kind of taking over stadiums like they have. There's a lot of orange out there tonight. How disappointing is that to you? And how much does it motivate you guys to want to get that turned around?
Yeah, well, I had these thoughts coming in this one, wait and see what it looked like, and there's a lot of orange in the stadium for real. What I would, I wish I would have started it earlier, because this connection between us and our fans is crucial to us being successful. And if you think about what we had in Seattle and what we had in the Coliseum, we had huge crowds in our favor. And I understand that, everybody wants to come to Vegas and all that, so it's a hot ticket for people to come. And so I'm sure that those that own tickets, are challenged by how they do it. But if we're going to do this, we have to do it together, and we're going to need the fans to support us. I know we got to give them something to cheer about and all that, and be fired up, because they, part of this whole experience is about the joy that you get from following your team and supporting them and all. So it's going to take some time to do that, but when they're here, and this is a great stadium to play in, it's a great event to watch a game, for our fans. I just hope that we can earn their way into it, and so it's frustrating, but I'm not faulting them. They got to see it happen. It's been well before I got here. This has been around. So, but I would like them. Here's the thought. I would like them to be here when it turns, and so that they can be part of it, and they could have their role in it, and be connected to us, and they'll kind of have wished they did, when it does. And so with the forward thought, I hope we can do this together.
Pete, you talked about playing for pride, but you've also said you thought you were close these last several weeks, but it hasn't translated to wins. Do you still think you're close?
Yeah, it is. It is close. Look, the game was 14-7. They had a punt return, and we're there. We just need our next drive to get in there. And we're holding it together. And really, the conscience of the team on the field, they're holding it together. They're working their ass off to make the next play, thinking it's going to turn. We have a surprisingly positive attitude about it. Well, I don't know. That's part of our culture, and it's part of the expectation of how we operate. But it's there. And so, it's just, we got to go do it again. And that's what we talked about in the locker room after the game. And so, it's how we show up on Monday and go to work on Wednesday and take the next step together. These guys want to do that. And so, hopefully the fans will hang with that and wait it out, but be there when it turns is what I would like to see.
Pete, two-parter for you. First, you had brief looks at Kenny in Kansas City and Denver. You get a quarter worth today. What did you see? What did you like?
Okay, I've seen a lot of Kenny in practice. I always go back to that. He's active. He's quick. He's really athletic. He's a good thinker. He's a really clearly competitive guy that gets situational football and knows what's going on. Kenny was the first one to say, "We're gonna kick field goal on this drive, right?" Which didn't quite work out right at the end, but. I see nothing but positive stuff, and his mentality, and I'm coaching the hell out of him because I want him to be ready if the opportunity pops. It's just exactly how we did it with for years, and however long it takes for the opportunity, he's going to be ready to go, and he's got enough stuff to him. His athleticism, I keep reminding him, you can use your legs and run because he's really quick, and he can explode and get into the secondary and make things happen. It's so often helpful to a quarterback trying to make him his way. So I'm really positive about him. I love that he's on our team. I'm really seeing his attitude being exactly where it needs to be ready for the op when it happens. So, and he came to today in marvelous fashion. The couple throws, the touchdown pass was exquisite, and for Shedrick to have that chance, we were kind of rooting for him. It's his first chance to play and to get a perfect play for a touchdown for those two guys. I thought that was great. So, we should shout to Shedrick Jackson. That was a great play.
You know, you got to watch it on the film. It looked initially like the punt was covered, and then he kind of broke loose.
Yeah, I couldn't see it because it was on the other side, but I know that we had a real formidable opportunity right there for us to make the tackle, and then the guy got out. So unfortunately, that happened, and that was really a big play in the game.
To go back to Kenny.
Did I miss the second part of the question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's all right. Hypothetically, and I know you don't want to jump the gun, but they're playing the Eagles next week. He knows the system. It's been a long season for Geno. Whatever's going on with the shoulder, you don't want to, jump the gun. But are you comfortable with him? Would you consider giving Geno a week off and letting Kenny start considering the opponent?
Just wait and see what happens, okay? I mean, I'm going to do what I think is the right thing to do, and if Geno can play, that's my thought. But I know Kenny can play, and so our players understood it too. That Kenny did a good job, and they recognized that in the locker room after the game. But I'm rooting for Geno to get back out there and see how he does. But we're not going to play him if he's not right, And so Kenny will be ready to go, and Aiden will be ready to go as well. And so that's just the way how we'll deal with it. But I'm not even going to try to call it now, and I don't need to be hypothetical about that either.
Pete, you got an extended look at a bunch of young guys today, but in particular Caleb Rogers and Darian Porter. I know you got to go look at the film, but what did you gather from their performance today?
I appreciate that. That means we're learning together. Darian, got a ton of play time. He's been playing regularly. He's started some games and he's been out there doing it. So we're very confident that he's making progress. Caleb got to play a whole game today, and that's magnificent for us to evaluate for his growth and all of that. It didn't seem like the issues were there. I didn't see any issues with him watching the game from the sidelines. But like you said, we watch the film and then we make the good determination and see how we move on. But that's really, really helpful for his cause to try to help our football team. I'm grateful that he made it through the game. That's a good move for us.
And I saw Jordan was active today, Meredith, but Kappa started at center. Is that something going forward, or was it a health thing?
Yeah, Jordan could play in the game. He could have played in the game. We worked him out early, and he could have played. But if we didn't have to play him, I think we all thought it would be better for him not to play. And so we made it through it. We'll see how that scenario plays its way out. But again, I want to see Cap how he did. I've been very impressed with Cap in his 2 games playing the center, making that move. He never played center before. He always knew he kind of thought that could happen for him in the history of his career, as he tells it. But so far, let's see what happens. We didn't move the ball very well either.
With
Yes.
a few rookies taking the field today, how impressed were you with their confidence right off the bat?
Yeah, we talked about Darian again. Darian's been playing quite a bit. He's been regularly rotating, and starting some games too. So, that's really important for us. And to see him play like that. I thought he played solid today, from what I could tell. And we talked about Caleb as well. Getting a lot of play time. Shedrick, it was a root for the guy. He's been busting his tail the whole time he's been with us, and he's looked impressive. And he had probably the most standout preseason of the young guys. And so it's just been a matter of getting the opportunity, and with, he didn't get a bunch of plays, but what he had, he took advantage of and looked really good. So cheering for him too. I don't know if you have anybody else in mind in that. The big guys up front on defense got some play time too. JJ and Tonk, and so all of that helps. It just helps us moving forward.
Great, thank you, Coach. Thanks,
Okay.